Hey, ChemStars, this is Mrs. Vanderwall bringing you homework pages 3 and 4. Um, this is molarity practice. This is your homework page. So the idea is that you've already watched the videos that covers this information, and that you have already done these two pages, pages 3 and 4, on your own. So if you are watching this video, that means you have finished 3 and 4, and now you're checking your work. That's the assumption here. So hopefully that's the case, okay? That will make the most sense. You'll learn more that way if you check your work, okay? So anyway, we are to, again, solve the following problems, show all work, include units on everything. And then it says fill in the triangle and or write out the molarity equation below. Well, I like to sing personally, so I want to sing for you first, and then I'm going to fill out the triangle, and down below I'll show you the molarity equation, although you've already seen it, okay? So I'm going to start singing now. You ready? The mole's on top of the mountain, the mole's on top of the mountain, the mole's on top of the mountain. Why? To see molarity and liters. How's that for you? All right. Hey, I probably will keep my day job. Don't worry. So anyway, how does this help me? Okay. Well, if I want to solve for molarity, I just cover up molarities, and what's molarity equal to? Moles on top of liters. Well, in math class, what does moles on top of liters mean? It's moles divided by liters. All right, so molarity is equal to moles divided by liters. Okay, what if I'm asked to solve for liters? Well, that's equal to moles divided by molarity. Moles are on top of molarity, so it's moles divided by molarity. Well, what if I'm asked to solve for moles? Well, now it's molarity times liters, because they're side by side, okay? So as long as you know that moles on top of the mountain, then it all fills in. Then you know where molarity and liters go, don't you? So if you put moles on top, you can't go wrong, can you? So let's see how number 1 plays out. All right, so what does it say? Determine the what? Determine the molarity. So right here, all right, I'm going to cover up molarity. Well, what's molarity equal to? Molarity is equal to moles divided by liters. So here's the equation that I was referring to above. It says either fill the triangle or write the equation. Well, there's the molarity equation, isn't it? So then what? I want to know, all right, whoops. There we go. So do I know moles? Well, by golly, I do. It's 4.5 moles. Do I know liters? Well, yes, it's in liters. All right, it's not in milliliters. It's not in I don't know, kiloliters. It's in liters. I need the unit to be in liters, and it's in liters. So my units work out. I have moles and I have liters. I just have to divide, got my calculator. So I get 2.25. However, I have these guys right here are only 2 sig figs, so my answer has to be only in 2 sig figs, all right? Well, let's now look at the next question, all right? In number 2, it says to determine the molarity of 20 grams. Grams, all right? Why is this so important? Because if you want to know the molarity of a solution, you don't go into the lab and measure out moles, do you? There's no such thing as a mole meter. You can only measure out grams, all right? And using the periodic table, you can then determine the number of moles. And look, we also already know the volume here. So that works out great. So we do have graduated cylinders. We do have other devices that we can use to measure volume. All right, and so we need to now convert moles. By the way, step 1 is always to determine mole. No matter what the problem is, you have to know your moles. No matter what 2 pieces of information you're given, you need to solve for moles. Now, folks, this hopefully is a no-brainer. If you see grams, periodic table, you know you can solve for moles first. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. So how many moles is 20 grams? Well, grams of what? Sodium hydroxide. Oh, periodic table. I need to add all that stuff up, don't I? So here's my sodium, here's my oxygen, here's my hydrogen, and it adds up to 40 grams. So where does my 40 grams go? On the bottom Y, so that the grams cancels out, right? And now what? I can put moles on top. And what's 20 divided by 40? Oh, that works out pretty nice. I bet your calculator might just giving you 0.5. Why did I go 0.500? Because I have 3 sig figs, don't I? Well, this doesn't count. It's the 20 grams. Has 3 sig figs, so I have 3 sig figs here. And now what? I have to determine what? Molarity. Molarity, what's molarity equal to? Moles divided by liters, right? Moles divided by, whoops, liters. Wait, I saw the answers. All right, so here's molarity. Moles divided by liters. All right, what's that equal to? Well, I know I have 0.500 moles there. What was my volume, by the way? 0.50 liters. Hey, folks, it's already in liters. I don't have to do anything funky to that. So it's 0.5 divided by 0.5? It's 1. Is it just 1 or is it 1.0? Why is it 1.0? If you have 3 sig figs here and you have 2 sig figs here, then we need 2 sig figs here. All right, so now what? Determine the molarity of 53 grams. Periodic table of what is NaHCO3? Sodium bicarbonate. Maybe you remembered that. In 0.250 liters. Okay, well, what's step 1? Oh, that's right. Step 1 is always to determine moles. All right, so what am I given? I'm given grams and I'm given liters. Which of those two is going to get me moles? Well, I'm hoping you said it's grams. If you ever see grams, you can always find moles, right? Well, now what? I have sodium bicarbonate. What's the molar mass of sodium bicarbonate? Well, what is 22.99 plus 1.01 plus 12.01 plus 3 times 16? Let me add that up real quick in my head. I think it's 84.01. All right, and now what? 1 mole goes there. So here is my number of moles. Now what's my step 2? Well, what am I supposed to find? This is where you actually answer your question. Determine the molarity. Okay, well, let's go up here real quick. What's molarity? Oh, this is molarity, peekaboo. So what's molarity? Moles per liter. All right, so let's scroll down here again. So molarity is moles on top of the liters. No, all right, there you go. And so now what? I have how many moles? I have 0.623 moles. How many liters do I have? 0.250 liters. So what am I going to do? I'm going to divide, and I get 2.49. Why? Because I have 3 sig figs and 3 sig figs. Easy peasy, right? Let's see the next page. Okay, number 4. It says if a solution contains 1.10 molarity silver nitrate, remember that capital M is molarity. And I have 5.00 liters again, all right? I have to determine the number of moles. Now, am I given grams? No, I'm not. So I can't use periodic table to figure out the moles like I did in problems 2 and 3. There has to be another way to determine moles. The moles are on top of the mountain. All right, we can use that. All right, so I'm going to cover up moles this time. And what's moles equal to? Molarity times liters. All right, so there's my equation. Well, what's my molarity? 1.10 molarity. What's my liters? 5 liters. I think I can do that math in my head. I got 5.50 moles. I'd laugh if I got it wrong, wouldn't I? All right, now what? Can I determine the number of grams? Periodic table. I bet I need the periodic table, don't I? All right, so how many grams? Uh-oh, I need the periodic table. All right, so here's silver, plus here's nitrogen, plus here's 3 oxygen. So I got 169.88. So when I'm worried about this, now I got periodic table. All right, I can use that to solve for my number of grams. So what must go on the bottom? All right, I'm trying to get it. There it is. 1 mole. Why? So the moles will cancel out, and then 169.88. That's this number here will go on top. And with only 3 sig figs, I get 934 grams of what? Of silver nitrate. And I thought that was kind of funny. You know why? Here we go. This is just an FYI, just, out there. 25 grams of silver nitrate costs about $50. Okay, $49.95. I rounded up with tax and shipping or whatever, about $50 for 25 grams. So what I do next, I took 934 divided by 25, so I need about 37 bottles of this stuff. So what's 37 times 50? That's about $1,900. So if you're to actually measure out, if you wanted to make a 1.1 solution in 5 liters, it would cost you $1,900 to do so, all right? I think I'd rather take the cash than make the solution, all right? Just saying, all right, just saying. All right, back to chemistry again. All right, so if a solution contains 3.5 molar of hydrobromic acid and 500 mils. All right, step 1. I didn't tell you what step 1 was, but guess what? You know what step 1 always is always to determine the number of moles, okay? So let's go back up here again. Oh, I already covered it up. Here it is. So what's moles equal to? Molarity what? Times volume, all right? Oh, molarity times volume, but what the volume has to be, and it has to be in liters. What unit is this? Milliliters. Oh my goodness, is that why I bolded that? Probably so. So how do I go from milliliters to liters? Do you remember what milli means? It means 1,000. So if I divide 500 by 1,000, what's that equal to? 0.5000 liters. Why so many zeros? Because there's all those zeros there. That last zero is significant, by the way. Okay, so now I can do this. So moles is molarity times liters. That's why I had to do it. So it's 3.50 molar times 0.500 liters. And when I multiply those guys together, I get 1.75 moles. So now what? Well, what's step 2? Well, what am I missing? What can I solve for with moles? All right, I bet I can find grams. Periodic table. All right, so here's 1 mole. I didn't show you how to figure out HBr. It's 1.01 plus 79.90. So I got 80.91. And then that's equal to 142 grams. So I have to measure out that many grams of hydrobromic acid. All right, finally, the last one here. Nope, not the last one here. Second to last one here. Let's see here. I'm giving you molarity, and I'm giving you grams. Well, which one of those is going to give me moles? Oh, yeah, it's the grams. All right, so ready? Here's this. Oh, no, I need to come up with the molar mass. All right, well, 12 times 12.01 plus 22 times 1.01 plus 11 times 16 is 342.34 grams. I'm going to put 1 mole on top. So 100 divided by 342.34 is 0.2921 moles. Why so many sig figs? I have 4 sig figs here. All right, now determine the volume. All right, I can do that. What's volume equal to? What's liters equal to? Moles divided by molarity. All right, let's do that. So liters is equal to moles divided by molarity, which is equal to 0.2921 moles, which I got from up here from my 100 grams. All right, my molarity is in my problem up above, right? 1.50, so I can use that. And here's this. So when I divide it out, I got 0.195 liters. And just in case you're wondering, that's 195 milliliters. I multiplied this by 1,000 to get milliliters. Okay, there you go. No problems, right? Last problem. Here we go. Remember, you are checking your work, right? So you should be, making sure you're right, not copying all the stuff down, right? All right, so a solution contains 0.25 molar of sodium chloride using 2.0 grams. Periodic table. All right, what do I need to do? Well, what's step one? Well, have you figured it out yet? It's always determine moles, right? So I have 2 moles, or excuse me, 2 grams, and I'm doing sodium chloride. Well, I have sodium plus chlorine, so it's 58.44. And I'm going to put 1 mole on the top. And I divide, I get 0.034 moles. Why only 2 sig figs? Well, because this only has 2 sig figs, okay? So what do you think I'm going to solve for? Well, I need to solve for the volume. That's what I still don't know, right? So liters is equal to moles over molarity. All right, so that's equal to, all right, what's my moles? 0.034 moles. Notice I'm putting units on everything, right? Isn't that what the directions said? And so I divided and I got 0.14 liters, multiplied by 1,000, I got 140 milliliters. You didn't need to convert into milliliters in those last 2 problems. I just did because I'm trying to get you used to that conversion between liters and milliliters, okay? Well, I hope that was handy for you. I hope maybe they answered some of your questions for you. I hope you didn't mind me singing a little bit. Anyway, if it helps, it's worth it then, isn't it? All right, that's it. So I'm done. We'll see you next time. And don't wait to be great. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.